So I watched the premiere of Bâan, The Boundary of Adulthood today, and it was totally worth it. The film was really good, and I had so much fun seeing Gigguk on stage live for once. You could tell from both the movie and the talk afterwards just how much care went into the production of Bâan, and it was awesome to see Gigguk's vision come to life. I found it to be a very interesting story that also hit near to my heart. Though it was very short, Bond still managed to cover the feelings of moving far away from home, and I love how it being an isekai served as a vehicle for the alien feeling that moving to a foreign country often has. For me, Rin looked out of place in the real world doing human things, and it kind of reminded me of how I felt when I first moved abroad. The art really brought that feeling to life too. The amount of detail given to the isekai world really shined through, and even later Gigguk talked about building it, and I could only think that it was a shame it only got to be shown for 10 or so minutes. It seems like such a natural setting, no forced mystical nonsense, but just a little thing here and there that makes you think about the world. And on top of that, it's just a beautiful place. The nature scenery really sold me and made it a place that I wanted to mark down as a vacation spot. Not to mention the Naga absolutely stealing the show. Every time it was on screen, I was captivated. It's such a gorgeous creature and really was the deciding factor in me seeing the world in such a fantastical way. I also wasn't expecting to think so much about the food. I left that showing hungry. It shows up once in the trailer, but it appears a good amount of times throughout the movie, mainly because food is a big part of any homey feeling. Personally, it's the first thing I think about when I remember home. So whenever there was a scene with food, it wasn't just that it looked delicious, but I could also empathize with that nostalgic feeling. Another thing is that the music was great. Kevin Penkin really is one of the greatest composers in anime. The first thing I did after leaving the theater was seeing if the soundtrack was out on audio streamers yet. I don't really know what I expected since Bond hasn't even officially released yet, but I wasn't thinking about that and I really just wanted to listen to it on loop until I fell asleep later tonight. You can listen to it yourself in the trailer, but I will say that sorrowful and oddly majestic melody really hits during the moments it's played. All in all, it's a really good 20 minutes, and I didn't feel bored at all watching it. In fact, it didn't even feel like 20 minutes. I swear I felt 10 minutes pass and credits were rolling. I was beyond confused, and that kinda leads into my only gripe with Bond. It's too short. Given the fact that it's practically self-funded by Gigguk himself, I can't really mark off points for this, but 20 minutes just isn't enough. Just about everything would have benefited from a bit more breathing room. I would have loved to see more of Euthania. I would have loved to see more of Rin in Japan. I would have loved to see more interactions between characters, but we didn't get to because of the runtime. At times, it feels a little rushed, but I do still think it was done well. It's clear Studio Daisy put a lot of thought and intention behind what they showed given the time restraint. So it isn't so much a complaint so much as more time would have just made an already great film even better, which I think is more or less what we expected going into it. Regardless of that, the team really did make something incredible, and I'm so happy to see just how far Gigguk has come. Honestly, I never saw anything like this coming just a couple months ago, but my hopes had been incredibly high ever since the announcement. Gigguk is one of the few people who I trust when it comes to anime, and it's awesome to see him finally proving it in the best way possible. Of course, you'll be able to check it out for yourself on the 20th of September on Gigguk's channel for free, and I'm sure you guys will like it as much as I did. In fact, I'll probably be right there with you rewatching it. So, until then.